I've spent the last 3 months, after picking up a project from years ago, researching what makes the ultimate drummer. I've written it up into a complete blueprint, which I'll share with you for free today. And if you stick around, I'll show you how you can get started learning that right now. If you master these skills, you'll put yourself ahead of 99% of drummers out there. And I'll put a bonus at the end with a full method of how you can gain all these skills in 2024. Now, let's get into this blueprint. Taken from UK-based drum grades, some of the top universities that teach drum kit education, and the best drummers in the business, I've curated and created this curriculum on all the skills that make the ultimate drummer. There's 4 levels, and then I've broken down each of those levels into 4 key areas. They are technique, groove, coordination, and reading. And as mentioned, these are clearly split up into 4 areas of difficulty. So level 1 takes you from a complete beginner to a pretty good intermediate drummer. And then you advance up, and by the time you get to level 4, you are really an advanced drummer, ready to take on whichever project, whichever learning style, whichever thing you want to learn, you'll be ready to go on to do that. So let's jump onto the computer and talk through the document and how you can get your hands on it yourself to start working through it.
It is the curriculum up on my Open Drum Lessons website, where I've also got a few drum rudiment resources, how to play different rudiments with examples, and I've also got on here some drum music theory knowledge as well, if you want to check that out as well, if that's part of your drumming journey that you want to get into. So there's plenty of resources. On the top bar menu you have Ultimate Drummer Curriculum. So this is the curriculum. I'm giving you at the bottom of the page the opportunity to download it for free, and you can come to this page and get it there. And everything that's on this page is broken down as a PDF file. So if we start at level 1 in a complete way, we've got things like German grip, match grip foundations, how to use the hi-hat, rim clicks, basic brush techniques, some reading knowledge here, theory within that as well. Groove knowledge, so basic rock and funk, basic Latin, basic swing, which is on jazz beats, 12/8 march, disco. And you can see that everything is broken down here into 4 clear categories. So I've got level 1, then we go to level 2, where everything builds on top of each other. The grooves in level 2 you'll be able to see. We start to go into kind of 16th notes, funk, rock and pop patterns, country, punk, basic progressive kind of rock beats, metal, shuffles, comping on the snare for jazz. So technique, reading, groove and coordination are 4 main areas, and then I've also got improvisation, percussion and drum kit care and knowledge, which all are part of the fun of looking after your drums and getting to know your drums. So level 4, 3, 2 and 1. And then if you want to look at specific areas like technique, reading, groove, then you can see them here. I've also added in, this is speak, read, write and hear. So for the assessments that will be coming along with this, you'll be able to see what type of assessments there'll be for each area of this as well. So building this out, creating a really good knowledge bank and a way to check where you are with your learning at certain points, but you can get this all for free on opendrumlessons.com and go into the top menu to get that curriculum there.
You can get the document as a completely free download and link on my website, which is opendrumlessons.com. There's a link to the page where the document is and a full explanation of how to use it for you to come back to as it gets updated and as it gets changed as well. But before we finish this, let's have a look at what skills you need to learn these skills in the quickest time possible and in a way that helps you remember everything that you learn. I just want to jump in at this point to tell you that I do online lessons. There's a link below to my TinyCal, and if you want to book a lesson with me, then please go ahead. We can talk through this blueprint, we can talk through what you need to learn, what is best for you, put in a structured practice plan so that you can achieve what you want to in 2025. And I'll put a bonus at the end showing you how you can learn all these skills in 2025 and start learning them today. So my background is I'm a fully qualified school-based teacher and a fully qualified musician. I've got first class honours in my music degree, and I hold 2 postgraduate teaching qualifications. And at the core of me, I am a drummer who loves playing drums, loves learning drums, and loves the theory of learning. So with all these things combined, I'm always looking for the most effective ways to learn, both for myself and also for the people that I teach. The method that I've come up with, which I think is the most effective for learning drums for the long term and enjoyable because of every skill that you gain from doing it, is one that I call Learn to Speak Drum. This includes speaking, reading, writing, and hearing drumming and music so that you can be a fully rounded musician. This means that anything you hear, you'll be able to write down, anything you read, you'll be able to play, and you can be a fully fluent musician and drummer with anything that you like and want to perform on the kit. All parts of the blueprint can be learned through this method. Some of them intertwine with other areas in order for you to get the full Learn to Speak Drum method, but really the core way to learn this so that you can remember it for the long term is through those 4 areas. There'll be a video linked at the end of this one about what the Learn to Speak Drum method is and a demonstration of how it works so that you can see it in its kind of fullness. We better stay on the blueprint for this one. This blueprint works because it's based on progression of skills, but also the fact that you learn as a rounded drummer as you're learning the skills. Everything is clearly structured in a way to build on previous knowledge, even if you're a beginner, and it really helps you progress. Now you'll be able to see and follow along with other videos on this channel as I start to complete all areas of the blueprint myself and show you how you can test where you are on that on the blueprint, on the plan, on the whole way to you becoming the drummer that you want to be. Be aware that good learning is often hard. Almost like going to the gym, you want to be stretching your knowledge, stretching your muscles, stretching your abilities, and that should really come with a little bit of difficulty to it, and that's how you know that you're making progress. So as you start to make progress with these and with this method, just know that if it feels a little bit difficult and things feel a little bit out of reach, and that's probably the point where you are making progress. And there's tons of research and literature on this to show that this really is the way you can be learning and the best way to learn. If you're learning anything. On drums, we can really feel it because we are playing those beats, and sometimes they are absolutely perfect. Sometimes they're a little bit out of time. But when we're in that point where we're kind of just getting it, that's when we're really learning. And we need to remember that ultimately we want to be learning things we can't do. So there should be that level of discomfort when we first start something that's new, which helps us grow and progress and become stronger musicians and drummers. As you start to make your way through this blueprint and ticking off those boxes and showing that showing yourself that you know how to play these areas, then make sure that you complete each stage first. It's deliberately designed to be something called interleaved, so that we're not just doing months and months of technique and then you go to grooves. It's better that these things are interleaved and they support each other. Moving between different topics is a little bit harder, but it also makes us more rounded and allows us to forget and relearn things, which is what we want for the long-term retention of our knowledge. So aim to complete that stage before you move on, and that will really help you embed those skills so that they are ready to build upon at each stage of that blueprint. Interleaved learning, space practice, learning, performance, forgetting will be discussed in more detail on this channel. Cognitive science and learning, I think, is so important in an area that we've not really seen yet fully brought into the learning of drum kit. And I hope that I can demonstrate how I'm using it and how you can use it to really accelerate your progress as well. It's almost a little bit of slowing down to speed up. You'll become a better drummer in a quicker time if you can learn these methods, which are really how our brain takes information, works with it, remembers it, and allows us to reuse it in different musical situations. And if you've stuck around now to this part, this is something that I'm really passionate about. Tests and assessment. We really want to know where we are as drummers, and we want to know what we should work on next. And what I think I am struggling to find on different online courses and through different things I'm looking at as to grow my own drumming as somebody who's teaching themselves now, is I can't find those tests and assessments which tell me where I'm at with my drumming and what I should go on with next. So there will be a series of different videos which I'm going to create which will test where you are on this blueprint, and eventually you'll be able to jump on a call with me or join my course, which will allow you to get all those tests and a personalized plan with video lessons linked to that personalized plan about what you should do next on your drumming journey. So testing and assessing is core to us checking our learning and progress, and can sometimes be one of the most fun things we can do. Playing a piece of music is going to be a test, it's going to be our assessment. Transcribing something, or maybe copying and writing or soloing against something. These things are going to be core to checking our progress, and then they can then tell us what we should do next. So once we've chosen our project and what we want to work on, we test where we are, and that guides us about what we need to work on next and really gives us that focus. So if you have chosen a project, or you know what you want to improve and you're a bit lost about what you want to do next, have a look at this blueprint, find the things you need to do, and watch my next video where I look at what should we practice in which order, where we might be filling in a few gaps in the blueprint, and how we can structure our practice time, get the most out of the time that we have, maybe on weekends and evenings as we start to practice.